5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign, where nothing bad ever happens unless, and there's the only slight possibility for this, it is totally the fault of the characters or the players behind them. And I love this game so much. It has been a really long time since the last time we got to sit down on a Monday evening and play this game. Real life kept intruding. Curse you, real life, for always coming first. Many of us would argue real life is currently cursed, but never mind about that. Because we are still recording this in 2020. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's being recorded in 2020. So with that said, does anyone remember what happened last time?
We got in a fight with some sort of sewer creature, and then I forget what set it off. Something exploded, and I believe it exploded big.
Technically, there was more than one explosion. There was one in particular that was caused by someone forgetting that I pointed out there was a lot of aerosolized stuff in the atmosphere, and then they lit a small fire. And that went very well, actually. That damaged your opponents a lot. But yes, the last thing you recall is that the Mama Udyug, as they're referred to, you didn't know what its name was, but for metagaming purposes, it was an Udyug.
We probably named him George.
No, George was a different thing.
Neogi.
That was a Neogi, yeah.
Well, Mama Udyug ran forward and started barreling people out of the way, and everything after that is just like some loud noises and bright lights. And when you come to, a couple things. First of all, you've had a long rest.
Okay.
So, congratulations for that. You had 2 sessions in a row in combat. I think maybe more than that. Maybe 3.
Maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
It was, yeah. It was a while ago.
And there aren't as many kobolds around you as there were. No, that's not true. There's still plenty of kobolds around you. It's just they're not the same kobolds. You were there, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, but the rest of you weren't. And where's the other kobolds? Because there were others in your group that you don't see. That cool monk that jumped in out of nowhere and was doing cool monk stuff. Well, they're not anywhere to be seen. You're pretty sure Snacks was with you. He's not here. He might be around somewhere, but he's not here currently. Cogbucket is here. Cogbucket is over there by the door with what appears to be a trolley. Not a trolley like the trolley problem where you see 2 things of tracks.
Right.
But like a small cart type of trolley that has a particularly heavy hammer resting on it.
I
And
promised,
you appear...
Mom, I wasn't playing with the wand of fireballs.
Did the Red Star crash into us somehow?
I do not think so.
That's what it feels like.
There are also
Wait,
several...
Did someone cast fireball? Oh no!
More data is needed. By the way, there are several other kobolds in here, some of which are on carts, just as you are all on cart. Sorry, not carts, cots. Different word that begins with a C, very different connotation.
Right.
You are also not all riding in small cars, which would be adorable. They give you little fezzes to wear as you did so. And I'd be quoting They Might Be Giant songs, but never mind about that. That's apparently for the 8:30 game on Saturdays, but never mind. Because it happened, and it was glorious.
Okay.
But there are a few kobolds that appear to be like battle medics that are going around tending to several injured kobolds. Oh, good. You're up. How many fingers am I holding up?
4?
Uh-oh.
Maybe?
This one's still concussed. I wasn't holding up any fingers.
Oh, that's a problem. What hit me?
You were holding up fingers. No, I wasn't. They weren't your fingers, but you were holding them up. Put the patient's arm down. You were checking their pulse. Oh. You did count 4 fingers. They just weren't the medic's 4 fingers.
Okay. Good to know. So, what happened to the things we were fighting? Are they still out there? Are we done?
So, I'm a medic. I don't rush into battle very much.
There was an explosion.
I'm totally ignoring the fact that there are medics that rush into battle.
Right,
This particular kobold apparently believes that they don't, and that's the story that they are sticking to. But I, the person behind the DM, am aware that medics do this.
Yeah.
This kobold will disagree with me.
There was,
Last thing I knew, I was like grappled by one of those whatever they were, and I don't remember what happened after that.
And then there was a Zeely unapproved fire.
Okay.
There was
You
that.
learned how to cast Fireball.
There was
Remember
issues
the
with the
air
structural
learned to
integrity.
cast Fireball because
Alright.
it was full of gas. Fire safety courses for everyone.
Anyway, the automaton over there drug you out and brought you here.
Wow.
I
JR,
had
you
JR.
saved us.
It took
Awesome.
multiple trips.
I'm sure it did.
The hammer took 3. The carts kept breaking.
Oh, here, let me take that off. Yeah, there.
When you
Ta-da.
pick the hammer up, the cart actually rises up about an inch. If you care to notice, there are actually grooves in the stone floor where the cart was drug in here. Apparently, it was so heavy that the wheels weren't turning in their casters. The next person who uses this cart is going to be like the person who goes to the grocery store and gets the cart with the wobbly wheel, so it always wants to turn to the left sharply.
Oh, no. I just walk over and pick it up. Hey, thanks. Awesome.
That was not fun. Let's not do that again.
Oh, it was kind of fun until things blew up. I mean,
Yeah, so if you're all better, then we kind of need the cots back.
oh, yeah.
So there's a waiting line.
Waiting line? What happened?
Why is there a waiting line?
We learned new words today. Orbital bombardment.
Oh, no.
With that, you notice a slight tremor in the structure that you are in.
Who's orbitally bombarding us?
And how do we stop them?
Well,
No.
I got good news and bad news. The bad news is you probably won't be able to stop them. The good news is that's because your mom's out there. And they point right at Chroma.
So,
If
who's
you listen
doing the
very
orbital bombardment?
If you listen,
Because-
you go first.
Okay. No. What I mean is, how many things are exploded?
I'm a medic. I don't rush into battle.
Right. We got that.
Based on historical context, this is demonstrably false. I'm a medic, and therefore I do not rush into battle. My database has no fewer than 55 documented occasions of medics rushing into battle during the past month. I'm a medic,
there.
and I don't rush into battle. Therefore,
JR, I don't think you're going to make any progress on this one.
They're a
But he is
doctor
wrong.
medic, not a healer medic.
whatever that was, it's probably accurate, yes. In any case, if you listen very carefully, you might be able to hear just the slightest hint of maniacal, bone-chilling laughter.
Oh.
Is it a dragon?
I don't think so.
No, it would be Zeely.
Yeah.
By the way, there is no way to hear Zeely from here without some type of spell cast to scry on her. She is truly a thing of terror and awesomeness, and I am very happy to be significantly below the surface while she's up there blowing things up. And then the ground shakes a little bit more. Maybe a bit deeper.
Right, come on, let's get out of here. Let's deal with something and not that. Or wait, who's bombarding us?
I'm a medic, and I do not rush into battle.
Okay.
All right. We need to go find someone who knows what's going on.
All I know is they have ships, and they took out a lot of the moonbeams.
Wow.
They need to
Dang it, I
target the
worked hard on
moonbeams.
those.
Well, they didn't know to target the moonbeams at first, I think, but they figured it out after a little while.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, we gotta go stop them if we can.
Okay, and if you can figure out what was up with that blue smoke, let me know.
Blue smoke.
What
I just
blue
want to know if
smoke?
it's a carcinogen. Oh, while you were sleeping, a ton of blue smoke wafted through here. Like, a lot of it.
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my lab.
I mean, I don't know where it came from, and I don't know where it went.
Smoke.
Wait,
The smoke
What?
that would have come from my lab was orange.
quick
Oh,
question.
that's totally different.
Did this smoke move like it had somewhere to be?
Wait,
Well,
Wait,
it didn't
blue
stop and
smoke?
ask
Oh,
for
no!
direction.
blue smoke! Blue smoke! Oh no! I need to go check something. It's a secret. Zoom.
I
Okay,
attempt
you
to
immediately
follow.
go to a nearby computer and open up a video chat. I don't think my joke was that funny, but I'm taking this. The DM awards himself 1 point of inspiration.
There you go.
Anyway, Chroma just made the connection between blue smoke and the, what's it? That I forget the name of, because I'm kind of out of it.
Okay, well, describe the what's it, and I will tell you which plot point you are referring to.
Half circle,
The lock.
Yeah.
Which apparently is also a steering wheel, but it's
Which was
primarily a lock.
powered by something full of blue smoke.
Quite possibly. Maybe.
But it should be powered by blue crystals now.
Possibly. Okay, so Chroma is heading off in that direction. What do the rest of you do?
I'm going to follow Chroma.
I think follow at a somewhat more leisurely pace, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow for a bit until I figure out what's going on, and then I'll...
Don't forget your hammer, Zach.
Oh, I got it. This thing's never leaving my side until I have to throw it again.
That's an out-of-context quote.
Yeah.
That we took considerably longer to get to that out-of-context quote than we normally do. We're 15 minutes in.
I know.
It's weird. I suppose I could take my Zoom conference joke as another context one, but never mind about that. So we see a blur, a chromatic blur, if you will, running down the tunnels, followed by two kobolds that are running at a slightly less frantic pace, followed by a remaining kobold who's leisurely walking down the tunnel. And I'm not going to have you roleplay how you get there. This is a path you have taken on multiple occasions at this point. You could probably do this blindfolded. You would be rolling a disadvantage if you were, but you probably could do this with blindfolds. And at one point, you get to an intersection where you see 4 individuals who are decidedly not kobolds.
What do they look like?
Well, 3 of them are very clearly elves. They're wearing fancy, shiny, almost translucent, but not really armor. Like you can see into it, you can't see through it.
Huh.
Like it's coated in a thick, transparent lacquer, but there's metal underneath that. And there is another individual with them. There's 3 of them that look like that. And there's a 4th one that looks decidedly different. They are slightly taller than the elves that are with them. They've got, and I'm describing this for the recording, because it's audio only. They've got grayish, bluish skin, pale, bluish hair, an assortment of non-traditional facial piercings. And they're wearing what appear to be some stylized leather armor.
All right, are you guys part of the group that's like blowing stuff up? Or are you, like, why are you here?
Oh, well, perhaps you can help us. We're trying to track down some blue smoke. And
why do you
we
need
think
blue smoke?
That's nothing for you to worry about. But we're trying to find the blue smoke.
For what?
And we've been following it so far, but we lost sight of it at this intersection. Did it go past you?
Okay, so, but why do you need the blue smoke?
That's not anything you need to worry about.
It's kind of a weird thing to go looking for, you know?
Well, do you have use for blue smoke?
Yes.
Do you have a better use for it than we do?
I don't know. You'd better tell me so I know.
Well, and he clearly pauses and rolls a 5 on his persuasion check.
Oh, no.
We think it would look really cool if we added it to our armor. Look how cool our armor looks.
That raises more questions.
It kind of does. How long have you been here?
Let me check my watch and roll for initiative.
Oh, no. Okay. I have 16.
7 here.
5. Chroma is still trying to think of how to attach smoke to armor.
I could see that. I could see Chroma going, how do they do that?
You infuse it into the lacquer. Also, you just say a wizard did it. That usually
That works too. Yeah.
And I am putting in the numbers that I'm seeing.
I apologize, I missed if you said this. Did our unconsciousness count as a long rest?
Yes. Okay. First up is going to be the slightly larger person with a face that could set off a metal detector. They pull out a bow and take a shot.
Oh, no.
At who, you might ask? I'm going to roll to find out. Oh, so this character is apparently not the most intelligent of your opponents because they chose to take a shot at the barbarian.
Oh. Does it hit?
I'm finding that out.
Okay.
Well, that's over 20. That is a 25.
Okay, the armor's 17, so that hit.
Yeah. You're going to take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay, got it.
Followed by a second attack. Oh, that's not as good, but that's still over 20.
Okay.
So that's going to be a second round of 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And then they use their bonus action to give someone else advantage because they can. So, Zax, it is now your turn. You have 2 arrows sticking out of you.
Don't forget to rage.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. First arrow comes in. Zach's going to rage. And let's see, he's probably quite a bit taller than me, right?
Well, yeah. You're
Okay.
small. He's medium.
Okay.
And he's
I'm
a big
gonna-
medium. He's more like Dragonborn size.
Yeah, big. Okay, so, I can't throw the hammer, it'll stun everyone in this whole hallway, so,
No, please, throw the hammer. I'm here
yeah.
for this content.
Oh no!
It'd knock us all out, it won't help. Probably knock us all out.
Technically, you wouldn't
So-
be knocked out. You would be stunned.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And you really liked it the first time you did it.
Well, yeah. I mean, now I know it works. That was the plan, kind of. Not
But
really.
nevertheless, what would you like to do at this point? You have 4 targets that you can aim for. There's this one that shot you twice. It's wearing leather armor. There's
Right.
one that's looking like they're wearing beefier, more metallic armor. And the other 2, the armor looks a bit more ornamental. Like you're not
Okay.
entirely sure the armor would be able to take a hit.
Okay, so what I want to do is swing the hammer and try to take out his kneecap. Boom.
Okay.
And I rolled 11 plus 12 for a 23.
He casts shield. No, he does not.
So it hits.
Yes.
Okay.
You hit it a lot.
I hit it a lot. Damage is 2 plus 2 plus 8 for 12 damage.
12 damage.
Yep.
They uncanny dodge, and now it's 6.
Zax would like to rage double.
Double the raging, double the fun.
Right, yeah. So I have another attack. So I'm going to do it again. This one is 14 plus 12 for 26 to hit with the hammer.
Yep.
And for damage, 5 plus 3 plus 8 for 16.
Should have uncanny dodged for this one.
Yeah, and that's all I got.
Watch out for little things. This one hits a lot.
Well, you did throw arrows at me. What did you expect?
I expected you to be a small smear on the ground like the others.
Yeah, well,
Ixnay on the others, A. I told you that's not one of the languages I speak.
okay, so you're all definitely enemies, so,
Murder time.
Uh-huh.
If only Chris were here. This is the content he'd be here for.
Oh,
Okay. Now, Zax, you rushed in,
yeah.
which means you're ahead of everyone else.
Yep.
Which means you are not going to get caught in the fireball.
Oh,
I will admit, this particular spellcaster debated on whether or not they would catch you in this and then hit their compatriot who doesn't understand Pig Latin. And then they decided not to, because there was a chance that their compatriot might survive. But that is going to be a dexterity save for everyone that isn't Zax.
Oh hey, I don't have a negative dex modifier on Chroma.
It's a 28 for Neri.
ooh, wow.
That's a 21.
Wow.
23 with the nat 20.
I'm not even checking if everyone's rolling over 20. Oh, wait, I do need to check something, because I just rolled for Cog Bucket.
Ah.
Yep, Cog Bucket failed.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, it's not too bad. It's only a 3rd level fireball. Oh, wait, that's still 8d6 of fire damage.
So 8 fire damage.
I mean, I'm going to roll it in chat,
Okay. Oh,
because
wow.
I can't be bothered to math today.
Wow.
So that's 26 points of damage. But if you made your save, and everyone who rolled insanely high made their save, you're taking half of that, so you're only taking 13. Unless you have some magical ability that makes you resistant to fire damage, in which case you're taking half of that rounded down, which would be 6.
Absorb elements.
Oh, I never pressed the long rest button for Cogbuck.
Oh. Yeah, you should,
Yes. I have healed him, and now I will hurt him. He's
You
level-
like hurting him.
No, but adversity builds interest.
I think Cogbucket has been reduced to death saves more than the rest of the party combined.
Cogbucket's level 3, the rest of you are like level 10.
yeah.
So when I scale the battle, I don't scale it for Cogbucket. You'd be walking around doing nose flicks at your opponents and they die from it. I scale the battle for the level 10 adventurers who aren't helper NPCs.
That makes
Cogbucket's role, if I can table talk for a little bit, is not someone who's going to be awesome at battle and carry the party. Cogbucket's role is precious friend who you must protect at all costs, which makes all the fights more challenging, actually.
Especially since they're convinced they're a tank.
They're not convinced they're a tank. They have decided they need to be a tank. They've already lost friends. They're not losing anymore. Not if they can help it. Okay, so we are going to have the next person who you are opposing cast a spell, and that's going to be a D8. Where is the stat? Okay, there we go. They heal the rogue for 13 points. They're not up to full yet, but that is what that particular person has done. And they have a bonus action they can use. What bonus action? You know what? No, all these spells are actions. They're not going to use the bonus actions they have. They wouldn't be applicable. So that's going to be their turn. Neri, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to put Hunter's Mark on the rogue.
They look up at
And
the bright
then-
arrow and they go, "Oh, I know what that is."
What's the clustering of the group like?
You've got Zax and the rogue that are fighting knee to kneecap, and the other three are kind of alongside this. They're adjacent to that, and the rest of you are in a group in front of that.
Can I get the 3 elves in a 10-foot sphere without getting anybody else?
Yes, unless someone else rushes in. And fortunately, it's not JR's turn yet.
Okay. Then I'm going to shoot the elf that's farthest away from the rogue.
Okay, that is going to be the one that cast a healing spell.
Okay.
Actually, no, wait, it wouldn't be because that's a touch spell. It would be the one that casts the fireball.
That's a 23 and a 29 to hit. Actually, make that a 18 and a 24.
They still both hit a lot.
Okay.
It's almost as if their armor is really just fancy robes.
And the second shot is a bursting shot.
So that's 26
So-
points of damage. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at my own roll. Never mind. Yeah, you've done massive amounts of damage, so it's not unsurprising.
Yeah.
But you haven't told me the damage yet, so I'm going to just stand by.
That's 27 points of damage from the arrows.
Told you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm making sure I'm doing the math right. 47. Is that right?
47 points of damage.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Whew.
You took them from 100% to a negative number in one shot.
I guess arrows to the face. And then one of them explodes, dealing 8 damage to the other 2.
His face is now pincushion.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to argue that the force of the arrows pinned this person to the wall behind them, so they're still standing, just not under their own power.
So basically every attack that they've thrown at us, Neri just threw back at them. In different form, but...
Mm-hmm.
More or less. Zenosha, is there anything you'd like to provide for this?
How does JR look like they're doing?
JR is not looking good. On a scale of 1 to 39, they're about a 13.
Okay, in that case, I'll activate Symbiotic Entity with my main action. And let me see how many hit points that gives me. And then I'll use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on JR at... He took a lot of damage. Let's do it at 3. Did not roll the best, but healed him for 10.
Every hit point counts. They are not bloodied anymore.
That's good. And since that was my action and my bonus action, that's my turn. The only thing I have left is a reaction.
You could still use your movement to get closer to your opponents.
Yeah, good point.
I didn't think you'd take that seriously.
Well, the Symbiotic Entity turns me into more of a tank than I would be otherwise. It's actually not a bad idea.
So, with your Symbiotic Entity, you're a tank. Chroma is a tank. Zax is a tank. Neri just fills everything with arrows until they die.
And has 130 hit points and an AC of 19.
Okay, so Neri is also a tank, a mobile turret-shaped tank.
Yeah, I was just thinking about ways I might get Halo of Spores to go off, but yeah, I'll stay where I am for now.
Okay. Well, JR was going to use this turn to cast a healing spell on themselves, but someone did that for them. So instead, they rush in, because of course they do. And they are going to cast a spell. Actually, no, I'm not going to have them do that. That they would know better, so they're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to have them roll an attack. Hey, that's a 24 to hit.
Wow.
They're going after the person who wiggled their fingers and made the rogue feel better, as one is supposed to do. And they do 11 points of damage. Chroma.
What kind of a formation are the enemies in?
One's attached to the wall.
Yes, one is currently attached to the wall. One of them is engaged with Zax. They have not set a date yet. And I have a feeling that the relationship is actually going to end very soon, based on prior commitments. Like, they've committed to being a jerk, and Zax is committed to smashing them with a large hammer.
Yep.
And there were two others that were over to the side that you would have been able to hit both of them with an AoE, but JR has rushed forward.
Oh.
Also, hello to LFA in chat. You are in a session where orbital bombardment is currently taking place, so something is being yeeted at the Kobold Moon Base.
It is, yes.
Okay, I'm going to cast Scorching Ray. Chroma levels her gun at, probably the one who was...
There's a tank, there's a healer, there's a rogue.
Chroma is going to fire at the rogue with the first ray. JR rushed in, so I have pack tactics, right?
For the rogue, Zax is right there, so you have pack tactics.
Oh, okay.
And
But to they answer the underlying question, do I have pack tactics? The answer is yes, you do.
and Zax has some fire resistance, so...
Well, this is a single target thing.
Oh, okay,
That's a
cool.
15. I'm guessing the 15's probably not going to hit a rogue.
You actually just missed them.
But I get 3 rays from Scorching Ray, so I can try again.
Get him, Ray.
And that's a 24.
I would argue that a 24 hits.
Wow.
And that's
Oh.
a nat 20.
Wow.
I would argue that hits a lot. Roll your damage.
Okay, and I think there's a thing I can do because this is my arcane firearms, so... And I think that also gets doubled if I crit, if it's added to the one that crits.
The only
I'm
thing that would
sorry.
make this better is if you had taken a level in Rogue, so you get sneak attack as well.
I don't think spells do sneak attack.
No, I don't think they do. It would theoretically make sense because your focus is a sidearm, literally. So it looks like a ranged weapon, but that's not how you're using it. So game
Correct.
mechanics, fun.
Let's see. So that... Okay, so it adds... I'm sorry, I'm a little out of it, and I'm trying to add up dice. So that's 2d6 from the first hit, and that's 4d6 and 2d8 from the second. So that's 36 fire damage.
You surprisingly do not kill the rogue.
Is he bloodied?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Let's put it this way. The rogue is also surprised that you did not kill the rogue. Also very much regretting...
surrendering's still an option.
No, it ain't. Mm-mm.
Also, the rogue is very much regretting not holding on to Uncanny Dodge until this exact moment. All right, anything else?
No.
Okay. It's the tank's turn. So the tank looks over at the pincushion that used to be an underling. And the rogue, who, well, nobody liked the rogue anyway. And the healer, who is next to bloodied, and says, oh. And he pulls out a small sphere with a blinking light on it.
Grenade!
You're going to let us pass.
Or you set off the grenade?
It's something like a grenade.
It's
I
not a
can't
grenade.
throw it far enough to be out of range, which means you can't run fast enough to get away from it.
How close am I to the rogue?
Well, you were in melee range, so you are
Okay,
within.
that's the one I'm
striking
fighting?
That is the one you've been fighting.
Okay.
You are within striking distance of the rogue's kneecaps, as you have already demonstrated.
Yes, okay. And they have
But-
some kind of thingy.
Well, the rogue doesn't have the thingy.
Who has it?
The guy in heavier armor.
Oh, okay. I got confused.
So, we are going to walk down this hallway, and you are not going to follow us. And if you are wise, you will tell all the other little reptiles in here that they shouldn't come near us either.
How long's the hallway?
So, or you'll set off the thing that you can't get out of range of?
Considering no one else near us will survive it either, that's a price I'm willing to pay. Is that a price you're willing to pay?
What's so important that you're willing to pay this price? We could have negotiated.
That's not your problem.
You're kind of on our land, so it is.
I don't have authorization to tell you.
You know what? Let him take a walk. Let him take a walk 20 to 60 feet. Yep.
That's oddly specific of you.
Yep. Try me. See what happens.
Okay. So the tank starts attempting to gather up the survivors, which is they're at 75%. That's good odds. And then we hit the end of the round. At initiative 20, a thing happens. Everyone roll a Constitution save.
Okay.
Is a harmful gas involved?
I'm
It
gonna
is
use
not
my
a harmful
inspiration because I rolled really low on a Constitution save, so I'm gonna use
I
the inspiration.
would like to use
Oh, no.
a luck point. I would like to use a luck point.
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to tell you the target number is 15. So I see 2 19s that are successes. I see a 6 that is going to have a luck point used.
Using
I say
inspiration, I got a 10.
is- Oh, come on. Alright, I'm using inspiration too.
I need to roll for JR.
Come on, sidekick. Come on, sidekick.
Ah!
Uh-oh.
Well, you weren't that attached to JR.
Oh, no.
Nat 20.
I got a nat 1.
Oh,
No.
God.
Okay. So whatever's been thrown repeatedly at the moon base to make the ground shake every now and then. Apparently they had a closer hit, or maybe they hit a load-bearing support for a building on the surface that collapsed. But this is a much harder impact. And the ground rises up to meet you.
Oh, no.
And also comes down to meet you, or did you rise up to meet it? Or it's a little jumbled for a little while. And I'm going to roll damage.
Okay.
Not 6s6, 6d6. 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I assume half if we succeeded.
It is half if you succeeded, which means it would be 12.
I did not succeed.
This is bludgeoning damage, though, and you are raging.
Oh, right. So it's half. So that would be...
12.
Okay. So I put... Can you fix my numbers? I put in the 25, and I can't back out of it mentally.
So I need to... Give me a second here.
Yeah.
Open up Zax's character sheet.
Yeah. I just put in the 25 damage, so that's where it stands, and I can't...
So I am going to add 13, and that will take you back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so looking at the others, well, the rogue is down. I don't even need to roll for the rogue because half damage would still kill them. Thanks, Chroma and Zax. I do need to roll
I
for
moved.
the... Sorry?
I moved the hunter's mark to the tank.
Okay, well, it looks like the tank might end up being the only one who survives this from the other group because the healer did not make their save and they're down.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, between your burst and Cogbucket's meager hit, those two things combined were enough. If they'd made their save, they would have been okay. A 5 does not make a save.
No.
And now for the tank, who has conveniently also rolled a 5. D&D Beyond is doing that thing where it gives you the same number a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they're bloodied now. I bloodied my own opponent. Never mind. So, by the way, everyone who did not make their save is also knocked prone. If you made your save, you're still standing. You're just not sure how.
Okay.
Did the tank who just got knocked... Is the tank still holding on to their wetsuit?
Give me a perception check.
Oh, no.
That's so sad sounding. Oh.
Well, perception is wisdom based, and I just asked Chroma.
Chroma. Mm-hmm.
Can I make one as well?
You may also make a perception check if you wish.
15!
Ooh.
Oh, a 15 is
16
sufficient.
for Neri.
Okay, so everyone who rolls higher than a 15, or a 15 or higher rather, does see that as this tank gets knocked down, the sphere he was holding with the blinking light on it, in slow motion, bounces across the rubble-filled hallway towards the party and comes to a rest directly in front of Chroma. The blinking is going a bit faster than it was before.
Uh-oh.
This is probably a bad idea, but my first instinct is 4 because I have good stick.
Your first instinct is what because you have good stick?
Golf.
I mean...
4 golf. Yeah.
Oh, and the puzzle pieces fit into place. Well, we're still in initiative. So, Zax, your opponent is dead.
Yep.
Also, one of the side corridors that this intersection had cannot be traversed
Okay.
because apparently upon the death of your opponent, they got bigger.
What?
They got bigger.
Okay. Are they still dead?
Oh, yeah, they're very dead.
Okay.
The rubble caved their skull in. They are dead. You don't need to cut off their head. There's not much head to cut off.
We were
Right.
fighting a
Pretty sure.
polymorph Snorlax is what we're telling. What we're telling you.
There's a Snorlax in the way.
Well, they physically look the same, except for the head not being there. But one could argue that they're not medium-sized anymore. They are now huge.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, what's left of them is.
I thought
They
he
don't
looked
have
like a
wings and
giant.
scales, do they?
They do not.
Okay. Giant. Maybe.
Yeah, I thought he looked like a giant.
I mean, they could be a huge giant.
Such a strange phrase.
It is. And it makes sense in Dungeons and Dragons because giant is both a size class and a subspecies.
Yeah. Okay, so that one's dead. And there's a blinky thing in front of Chroma.
Yes.
I have an idea.
Say it fast.
Better say it quick, because I'm going to do something.
My idea is bomb squad. I'm the bomb squad. Let me be the bomb squad. Chroma waves her bag of holding.
Okay. So I'm going to go after the tank then.
Okay. Well, they're currently prone because
Cool.
they failed their save.
All right.
You are also prone, but you can use half your move to get up and still get to them because they weren't that far away.
Yeah, I'm going to smash their head with the hammer. I'm assuming I need to hit.
Yes.
16.
A 16 will miss.
I'm going to try again.
But here's the thing. They're prone and you're doing a melee attack.
Yeah.
Even without anyone there next to them. Now, there is someone there next to them. It's JR, but he's at 0 hit points.
I can't
So you're not
fix
getting-
that, but I can fix this, you know?
Yes, but the
Okay.
point is, if you are not prone and you're attacking someone who is prone with a melee attack, you get advantage.
Oh, okay.
So roll again.
Okay.
Not for another attack, for the same attack.
Same attack is now 26.
A 26 will hit.
Okay. Damage
They have an
is...
AC of yes, and your attack roll was and.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So it's 4 plus 6 plus 8 for an 18.
18 points of damage. Noted.
How many?
Well, you said 18.
points. Okay, yeah, sorry. Numbers. All right. Yeah,
I mean,
that's my
On
turn.
more than one occasion, I have heard someone tell me how much damage they did with Magic Missile, and I thought it was an attack roll. So,
Okay. Okay, so that is my turn, and I'm going to trust Chroma to do whatever this bomb squad thing is she's doing.
okay. So that was your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is the mage. They're dead. Next up is the healer. They're dead. Next up is Neri.
I'm going to go along with Zax on this one. 2 attacks at the tank.
Okay. And they will be normal attack rolls because your disadvantage for attacking a prone target is canceled out by the pack tactics. Roll credits of having an ally within 5 feet. I remembered the show name for a change.
Yay!
19 and a natural 20 for a 29.
The nat 20 will hit. The 19 does not.
Okay.
I don't think that matters too much at this point.
Probably not.
Matter of fact, what are your bonuses to hit?
Bonuses to hit or bonuses to damage?
I'm sorry. What's the minimum amount of damage you can do?
20.
That's the minimum?
That's the minimum with the one. Oh no, 22 with the one hit.
I like how I asked for clarification. Like 20 is the minimum you can do, and you corrected yourself and gave a higher number.
Yeah,
I love this.
that's really cool.
I forgot that I rolled a natural 20, so I had to double the dice.
Exactly. So let's put it this way. It doesn't matter. How do you want to do this?
Well, what I want to do is roll anyway.
Go ahead. Roll to see how far the blood smear spreads.
Would have been 29.
Okay.
And yeah, just shots to pin him to the floor. Or a shot to pin him to the floor.
Okay.
Walk it off, laughing boy.
When the arrow hits, the arrow is not actually pinning them because it leaves a crater in their corpse. So that you might not be able to retrieve the arrow out of the ground, but you could easily retrieve the body off of the arrow.
There you go.
Okay. Zenosha. At this point, there are no enemies around except for a small sphere with a blinking light.
Yeah, but Chroma has an idea. Their idea sounds
JR,
better than
no.
mine. And yeah, JR is unconscious. So I'm going to go over to JR and cast Cure Wounds.
In JR's defense, it wasn't any of the opponents that took them down. It was an environmental effect.
Yeah, there was nothing JR could have done about that.
I healed JR for 18.
So here's the thing that keeps throwing me off. So I've got the encounter tracker, which is very neat, because I can keep track of all of the opponents you have and their hit points and everything. But players show up saying that you have 0 out of 0 hit points, because you're the ones
Weird.
keeping track of that, not me.
Mm-hmm.
JR is not a creature I've added in. They're a character sheet I rolled up.
And so they show a 0 out of 0 hit point.
So I can't heal them in the encounter tracker.
Oh,
And this
you
is
gotta go
something
get
that...
the character sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's open another tab. It's not too difficult for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I keep forgetting to do that. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask again because I was telling a story and therefore forgot numbers. How many points did you heal
18.
for? 18. I knew it was a teen. Okay. JR is at 18 hit points and didn't even need a death save.
Wow.
No, I'm
By
just
the way,
really
I-
hoping Chroma's plan works.
By the way, I don't do plot armor. If JR gets killed, JR does get killed. All right. It's JR's turn. JR sits up and looks around and goes, I think there was another structural failure.
Yep, I think so.
We should probably do something about the device with the blinking light.
I think Chroma's gonna be on that in a second, JR. I hope.
Chroma,
Oh, that's not a good sign.
Chroma, are you going to attempt to do what I think you're going to attempt to do?
I suspect so, yes. Chroma is going to choose to sacrifice, I think, pretty much all her non-magical equipment by sticking the bag of holding over the blinky device. Bomb squad.
So every now and then, the party does something that I was not expecting. This is one of those times.
We didn't tear a hole into the ethereal plane, did we?
No,
It's the astral plane.
You're going very quiet.
I am looking up the stats for bag of holding.
Oh,
Oh
He's
no,
got
I
to
think
find out if it needs to make a save.
no.
It doesn't say anything about making...
Doesn't the flavor text say every object's kept in its own pocket dimension?
Yes,
I
but I know something about this device that you don't know.
Fair point.
The color of the light.
It was blue.
If
No,
it's-
yellow!
if it's destroyed, its contents are generally scattered in the astral plane without it going boom, unless what destroyed it was having another device that does bag of holding type things shoved in it.
Yes.
That is what Chroma is banking on.
And also, if you put something in the bag of holding that is also some type of extra dimensional space or related to that, what happens?
It opens a gate to the astral plane and everybody gets sucked in.
Everything within 10
10 feet.
Yeah.
You are not on the moon anymore.
Okay, it wasn't a grenade.
Are we together or did we get randomly separated?
You are all together,
Oh,
but
well.
you are most certainly not in Kansas anymore. Actually, you never were in Kansas.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever gone there.
But with that said, we've been playing for just over an hour. What do you say we take a short break while I desperately check my notes to find out what to do now?
How can we not take a break here?
We'll be right back. We have returned. Gather round, my friends. Let me tell you a tale of an ancient green dragon that was trying to be a god, and the various plans that a rather skillful winged kobold sorcerer had in mind for its destruction. One of these plans involved taking her bag of holding, an item precious to her, and placing it inside another bag of holding, and thus sending said dragon to the astral plane. This plan never came into fruition. Instead, there was a misty step or dimension door into the dragon's mouth, and long story, never mind. But the bag of holding survived and was eventually passed down to her daughter. Said bag of holding was just used to take an item that involved extra dimensional elements, and there was an attempt to contain it. And thus, our party has been yeeted off the moon, out of the material plane itself. You are in what appears to be an endless sea of silver.
So that was an extra dimensional explosive. I didn't know those existed.
I don't think any of us knew it existed. This place is weird. And anybody want to pull these arrows out of me? That would be great.
Yeah, let me take care of that for you.
All right. Yeah, do that while I'm still raging, because it's going to be bad otherwise.
By the way, you are floating, and moving your arms to try to swim does nothing. And at this point, Zenosha, you are a bit too far away from Zax to reach the arrows.
If I hold out my stick, can Zach grab the stick and pull me in?
I think I know something about this place.
I would allow anyone to make an Arcana check.
I'm making an Arcana check, 27.
Okay, yeah, with a 27, you know that you don't travel in the astral plane by walking, swimming, or flying. Kind of flying. You move in the astral plane by thinking. You think yourself in a direction.
You have to use your brain. You have to think about moving around. To move around, you have to move around with your mind. I feel like while Chroma is saying this, Chroma is sort of wheeling in a weird circle, because that's what Chroma's brain does.
As soon as you say this, JR starts cartwheeling.
Okay.
How do I stop thinking about cartwheeling?
Think about standing still?
It looks like you are all still moving.
I will attempt to think my way over to Zach's.
Okay.
You certainly can. Now, I'm not going to be worrying about it right now because you're not in combat, but for the record, you move at a speed in feet equal to 3 times your intelligence score. This is a stat that is listed in the Dungeon Master's Guide, of all things. It has useful information in there that most people don't bother to check.
Wow.
I'm really fast.
Oh my gosh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
I have a movement
This is not my
speed
fault.
of 54.
This is not my fault. I didn't do this.
Nope. You didn't do this.
Oh, but here's the most beauteous thing, and I have to say this for the recording. Remember, in my cold open, I pointed out most problems that occur are the character's fault.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is glorious. No one's going to believe that I didn't script this. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, okay. So Chroma is zipping around like a hummingbird, I'm assuming at this point.
Yes.
And I'm not going to require rolls for anything. Zenosha, you have medical training of a sort. So you were able to pull the arrows out, no problem.
That's better. Thanks.
Does anyone need healing spells?
Not need, no.
I am getting dizzy.
Okay.
Let me try to catch you.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Might I note that nothing in the astral plane that I know of is based on wisdom. 12.
Okay, so here's the thing. I will also allow you to add your intelligence modifier because you're thinking, trying to stop JR.
In that case, instead of the strength modifier or onto
No,
it?
in addition to.
Okay.
You're combining the
So
two.
that's 15.
Okay. Well, by combining both for JR, which, by the way, JR's intelligence modifier is a -1.
Oh.
JR still got a 16. So basically, you grab onto one of JR's limbs and you go for a ride.
Oh, no.
Wait, does that mean JR's flying in reverse?
Okay,
No, JR is
this
just
works
moving with
too.
enough momentum that Chroma cannot stop JR.
No, I was thinking because the negative intelligence modifier.
Oh, no, it just means that JR doesn't move as fast. Your movement is technically determined by your intelligence score, not your intelligence modifier.
Not the modifier. Okay.
Yeah. So you get to, well, not that much faster because your base movement speed is what, 25 for kobolds?
30.
Oh, it's 30.
30,
Okay.
yeah.
For some reason, I thought for kobolds it was 25. Oh, it's because for the Modron game I'm playing, our base is 25.
Oh.
I got that stuck in my head. They're still small. That's the thing. So you're actually, most of you move slower by thinking it than you do by actually using your feet. But not all of you. JR in particular moves slower.
All right.
And-
So, how do we get out of here?
It involves some
I'm imagining Chroma saying this as she's flying by.
portals or spells that allow for planar travel, and I can't get us back.
There's a Doppler effect, by the way, as Chroma gets closer to you, still holding on to one of JR's limbs.
That's what I was imagining.
She gets a little louder, and then the spin continues, the orbit continues, and she gets a bit softer. It's
Like,
not
I
that...
was not expecting us to go here in the first place, so
I mean, raise your
Yeah.
hand if you thought you were going to end tonight's session in the astral plane. Exactly. I'm imagining none of you raised your hand.
No.
It's quite possible. If one of you was raising your hand, I'm sure it would be Ellie, just for the sake of it being Ellie. Because that is a wonderful sense of humor if you did it. But never mind about that. So yeah, you are hanging out in this featureless sea of silver, and the person who you'd expect to have the ability to travel from one reality to the other through the purpose of science doesn't have that. Now, some druids can plane shift.
I know I don't have that prepared. Let me see if I'm high enough level. Because if we can fix this with a long rest, that's worth pursuing.
And I'm sure you won't encounter any enemies in the astral. I mean,
like,
probably
if
so.
I had a bunch of time and money and supplies, the money is for the supplies, I could maybe work on something, except generally to make an amulet of the planes, you have to be able to cast plane shift, and I can't cast plane shift.
By the way, that's my favorite denizen of the astral plane that I just shared an image with you.
Oh, wow.
They're on the cover of at least one of the rule books. They're an astral dreadnought. They existed in Spelljammer, I want to say. Their size category is gargantuan.
Okay.
One could substitute the word titan. You do not currently see one of those.
Good to know.
They have lair actions.
Wow.
I
All right.
don't believe I'm capable of casting plane shift yet. I have planar binding, but that's not going to help.
I misspoke. They have legendary actions. All of the astral plane is their lair, so that would not.
Oh, those are the guys that the Kaku demons were based off of, aren't they?
I don't know.
They're the flying one-eyed enemies from Doom.
It's a good question. I don't know. There's enough creatures in Dungeons and Dragons where their art has drastically changed from one edition to the next. Kobolds in particular have changed a lot since first edition. And I don't know if that's true for the Astral Dreadnought or not. I think they look very similar for second edition, but I don't remember when Doom was released off the top of my head. But side stories aside, you continue to float there and think of things that you can't do for, I would say, maybe an hour or two.
I think there are supposed to be portals, maybe? I'm going to roll another Arcana check. That's a 23.
There are things called color pools. They appear to be two-dimensional. They'll be rippling colors. There's a variety of colors, including indigo, of all things. It's not actually on the color wheel. Isaac Newton was wrong. Was not wrong about firing a Gatling gun in space, but was wrong about indigo being a color on the color wheel. And the color determines where you go. Most of those places are not places you'd want to go, like the Abyss, or Gehenna, or the Nine Hells, or the Material Plane. I mean, who'd want to go there?
Yeah, who would want to go there?
If we came out in another crystal sphere, that would be bad, since I think the lock is on.
It just occurred to me that three of you are playing female characters, and therefore, because you're from the Material Plane, you are in fact material girls. But you are not currently living in a material world.
No.
Also true.
I'm pretty sure Chroma's gender is science.
Oh, yes, the 3 genders.
Of course.
No, but what's in your pants? Guns.
Also not technically wrong?
Right.
And the speaker.
What? No, don't tell me. I do not need this information. I do not want this information. Okay, so you realize, oh, there's colored pools that are about. We might find one that would take us out of here. It might be bad, it might be good, but it would be out of here. So you look around and you don't see any within eyesight of you.
That's not good.
We could start randomly flying off and looking, but also there are some big dangerous things around, so, you know. But I mean, there's going to be big dangerous things, there's going to be big dangerous things. We've got to get out of here somehow.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, our options come down to hope we're randomly rescued by the kobolds on the moon, fly somewhere and hope for the best. We're kind of left to the whims of fate right now.
I mean, you're only kind of sort of being rescued by kobolds on the moon.
Wait, what?
Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. How you doing? And there is what appears to be a human there. He's wearing, well, it's not fancy clothing, but it looks like something that you would wear if you were a librarian.
Okay.
And he's got a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, dark, short, cropped hair. Your first thought is Kevin, but no, this is definitely not a Kevin. He's coherent.
Oh, not a Kevin.
Not a Kevin. So, how you doing?
Been better. Can you get us out of here?
I might be able to. That is something that is usually in my wheelhouse. Well, for me, I kind of get around. I usually don't take passengers, so it'll be a learning experience for all of us.
Well, better than
nice
staying
to meet
here.
you.
Likewise, I've been following your work for a while.
Really?
Yes. The stuff you were doing with the lock? Inspired.
Are you made of blue smoke? I mean, at any point?
He makes a show of patting the front of his body to check it.
I mean, some people turn into... Sorry. Were you being made of blue smoke? I know there are some
really
spells
hope
that can...
not. That would open some philosophical and theological implications that I'm not quite ready to deal with.
Okay. So, what should we call you?
You can call me Augie.
All right, Augie. I'm Zax, but you probably already know that.
I'm Chroma.
Well, yes, I'll be honest. I've been paying more attention to young Chroma over here, but...
I can see why.
Well, she was the one messing with the lock, and that was very interesting. Now, the one who trained you, he was really darned cool. So many bacon recipes. Even
Oh, you know Gox. Awesome.
Well, not personally, but friend of a friend. So, I know you're probably wondering why I'm not immediately taking you somewhere, but I figured time is wibbly-wobbly here compared to other planes of reality. I've got you here for a moment. Thought I'd maybe give you some exposition. It's kind of my thing. I like to share.
All right.
I appreciate that there is significant conversation happening about usernames.
Yeah.
Not related to specifically what's going on here, but just an odd coincidence. It is, I assure you, a coincidence. And also, some of you have made a guess that is wrong. This person is not, in fact, a tiefling.
That was not the guess I was making.
Well, I wasn't referring to your comment. Nobody has them. So, that lock that you helped fix with Bindle Brightlight, if I remember correctly. A shame that things got a bit too hectic for the moon. That is old. That is really old. That is older than me, and that's saying something.
Zenosha makes a mental note that this guy looks human, but is clearly not with that comment.
So to me, it's new, and I like that because that's an opportunity to learn new things. I like learning. I like sharing that knowledge. And Bindle was on the right path. Bindle has opened so many doors and made up for a few failures on my part, to be honest. I am hoping that she does well. But never mind. Back to this lock. Do you know why it's called a lock?
Because it locks the crystal sphere.
Because because the things people open crystal spheres with are called keys?
Because you have to make the ship go up in order to use it.
Very good guesses. Except for that last one, I am totally lost. But that's only part right. Locks are great for keeping things out. They're also great for keeping things in. There's something locked inside the lock, and I want to know more about it.
Do you know if it's still there because the kobolds let some smoke out once?
Yes. Let me preface by saying that wasn't my fault. The kobolds were not my followers. At the time, I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even on this plane. Well, okay, I was on this plane. I wasn't on your plane. But I did find that out. Yes, that is a thing. There's also some stuff that's been going on in Flotsam that was kind of sort of related. Long story. Don't want to bore you with the details. You can ask my followers on Flotsam. They'd be able to fill you in. They would probably give you way too much information about it if you want. I understand that not everyone wants to hear tons of exposition from me, so as much as I want to share it with you, you're going to have to save that for another podcast episode. Point is, there's something locked in there. I don't know if it's good or bad. Now, I admit I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm all about the knowledge, but I'd kind of like my followers to live. That's a nice thing. So, in this particular case, I didn't rush in and say, let's figure out how to open it. Instead, I'm kind of hoping that you can find some more information because Bindle beelined it out of there. So, she's helping with something else right now.
Well, if the moon can stop being under attack for 5 minutes, we can certainly try.
Oh, I'm helping with that. That's part of why I was able to find you, because let's face it, I cover a wide area. I don't always pay needle nose attention to everything. But when you've got a powerful follower making a lot of prayers in a row, you tend to start paying attention. And then a bunch of you hopped into the astral plane.
Well, we didn't intend to.
Well, no, I would argue that the current data shows that 93.66666, repeating, of course, % of people who appear in the astral plane did not intend to do that, much to their failure.
Yeah.
There was an explosive, and I did not think it was an extra-dimensional explosive. I did not realize
Oh,
those
you
were
mean
a
this?
thing
And
that
he holds up the
existed.
blinking button sphere.
Yeah, that thing.
It's not a bomb.
What
Here,
is it?
catch. And he tosses it to Chroma.
Chroma catches.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a
Oh,
roll
I
for
got
this.
bluffed!
It has a single button on it. You want to press it?
Of course she wants to press it.
I want to press it, but maybe on
You
the
have a
astral
literal
plane-
god of knowledge telling you it's okay to press the button. Go ahead and press it.
Oh, I didn't realize that that was your Agma voice and not your DM voice.
I admit I totally reinvented the voice because I forgot how I made Agma sound before. I wasn't intending to have Agma come in this evening, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Chroma presses it.
It releases what appears to be a small cloud of aerosolized scent. Your best guess right now is it's lavender.
They were bluffing us.
We got bluffed. I thought they were bluffing, but I thought they were bluffing about whether they were willing to get blown up, not about whether they had a bomb in the first place.
And now you've learned something.
And now I've learned something.
Yeah, we learned there are people with extra-dimensional senses.
Well, it stores a lot more on the inside than it's supposed to. Apparently, the Elf Armada has magic to spare, so they put it into just about everything.
Fair, I guess.
So, another thing that happened recently, you might have been aware of that blue smoke that people were talking about, that I'm not made of, by the way. Don't suggest that again. That was a bit more recent and not so much let out, but instead came in.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that happened in Coomridge.
And what did it do to the people there?
Well, most of them are dead. Not my fault, again. They follow a different deity, and we tend to not try to intrude on each other's areas of expertise. In that particular case, they specialized in slaying undead. Apparently, they didn't specialize enough. They did, however, manage to destroy a phylactery. So, hey, good for them. The phylactery didn't just hold the soul of the Lich. It also held the blue smoke.
I don't know what that means, but that's bad.
Is traveling around to different places?
Now, keep in mind, I'm still learning about this. I'm a god of knowledge, and yet I still don't know everything about this yet. So there are some holes in the information I have to share with you. When they broke the phylactery, it did what it was supposed to do, but also there was this underlying essence that was built into the magical item that had been turned into a phylactery. It was actually a bracelet that lets you throw infinite daggers of all things. Now that's an odd one. That essence was released. It flew directly to the moon, wound its way around a bunch of your tunnels, and went into the lock.
The original power source.
I hope not. I think. I could be wrong. It depends on
Well, it was
whatever's inside
supposed
the
to
lock.
be powered by blue smoke or by something that looked like blue smoke and...
Wait, wasn't there something in the lock? Didn't you say there's like a something
There's
in
something in the lock. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it is trapped there.
So if the blue smoke, what does it want with that?
Well, it's kind of mysterious. But this blue smoke didn't power the lock. It didn't make it tougher. It didn't make it a better prison. It weakened the walls.
Oh, that was even worse than I thought.
All right, I'm really confused now. That's all right.
So we don't have the full information. Blue smoke came out of a phylactery, weakened the lock.
Yes. Now, there might be a half dozen more phylacteries. And because they're phylacteries, there might be some serious attempts to destroy them, especially now that the ragtag band of adventurers that's holding them knows they're phylacteries. So, I'm going to try to see what I can do on that end. What I'd prefer that you do, what I'd love to see you do, is keep an eye on that lock just in case. Because if it's something good in there, hey, it's win-win. If it's something bad in there, well, I really like that library that Marwise has made, and I'd like it to remain intact. And also all the people who visit it, that too. And all the people in the general vicinity. That'd be nice.
So you're saying it's going to explode?
I'm saying I don't
really
know
get
what's in there, but it is older than me, and it's been trapping something powerful for longer than I've been a god.
Okay.
It's a prison. Someone's trying to bust the gate open.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But is the being imprisoned good or evil? I don't know. I don't even know if those are actual concepts. I mean, half the time I don't believe in them, and the other half the time I'm saying citation needed.
Okay, so you want us to keep an eye on the lock, so you gotta get us back home, right?
Oh, yeah, well, that was a given, but
Okay.
I exerted a lot of energy relatively recently so far as D&D timelines are concerned, so I'm not going to be able to manifest on the material plane anytime soon. So I decided, hey, you're here. I might as well give you the warning.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll do our best to keep an eye on the lock.
Please do. Oh, and by the way, tell Marwise I said hi. She's doing a great job. And he snaps his fingers, and you are all suddenly in the material plane in the same room as the lock.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm going to go check on the lock now.
Yeah.
All right, and that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Wow.
So, thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Ellie, Io, Jen, and Cindy. Archbeth is hanging out in chat. LFA is hanging out in chat. Is there anything that anyone wants to plug?
My mom writes books. You can find them at elizabeth-mccoy.com.
My website is bookofgen.net, and it's got several podcasts and a bunch of gaming stuff and some other stuff. I add stuff whenever I can. That's bookofgen.net.
Ellie and Cindy are both awesome.
Of course.
Thank you.
And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Janadok, Mickey, Shanshan, and Walter. And until next time, this is Crash saying, Okay, so long as Noah makes a concerted effort to break all the other phylacteries, I'm sure we're going to be okay. I just hope they don't partner with an ancient red dragon. Good night, everybody.